Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of this video and then I'll go back and talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that were done right and or done wrong. This particular video comes from Houston Police Department, and finding the entirety of this video has not been very easy. And I don't know why it's been so difficult to find the full footage. When I go to Houston Police's YouTube page, I can't find it there, and when I do searches for it, I can find it referenced on their police website talking about the incident, but it's extremely difficult to find. And the full video I ended up finding at Bodycam Watchdog on YouTube. So shout out to Bodycam Watchdog on YouTube for having the full-length community briefing video. So without further ado, here we go.
I'm Assistant Chief Yasser Bashir of the Houston Police Department. This critical incident briefing is intended to provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred in Houston on December 26, 2021. You're about to see video footage that is related to this case. HPD conducts thorough investigations into officer-involved shooting incidents. This typically requires investigators to interview multiple witnesses, view numerous hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. It is important to note, we are in the very early stages of the investigation, and we continue to process additional evidence as it is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. A word of caution. The videos you're about to see can be graphic and may be difficult to watch. In addition, these videos may contain strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. At approximately 2:40 a.m. on Sunday, December 26, officers assigned to the Southeast Patrol Division responded to a discharge of firearms call at 3500 Corridor Street. When they arrived, they found the suspect, Christopher Johnson, standing in the roadway. Mr. Johnson began firing shots toward the officers, striking a patrol vehicle. The officers took cover behind their vehicles. A sergeant arrived on the scene and gave verbal commands to Mr. Johnson to put the weapon down and get down on the ground. Mr. Johnson refused to comply and approached the officers, making a shooting gesture with his hand and saying, "Boom, boom, boom." Mr. Johnson backed up and drew a firearm from his holster. Then the officers discharged their duty weapons. Mr. Johnson was pronounced deceased at the scene.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh.
You good?
Yeah, he's shooting.
Is that shots?
Yeah, shots out of you. I got hit in the front.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're shooting at
I'm
me?
dead serious, bro. 4-319. Show me what shots fired. He's getting shooting at us. We're on Corridor Street. You good, bro? I'm sorry, bro.
They were shooting at you?
Oh, yeah, he's shooting at me, bro. He's shooting dead at me, bro.
That's him right there.
Oh, shit.
1401 arriving with him.
We're getting shots fired at us. Fuck.
See him?
Nah. What the fuck is that, bro?
Hold John, let's
Let's get a perimeter over here.
He's over my quarter.
He's over my quarter in Spring Hill. He's firing at us.
Multiple rounds.
clear. Air units en route.
That's him right there. That's him right there, Sarge.
That's him right there.
Put the gun down! Put the weapon down!
You got an eye on him?
Yep.
That was him.
Put the weapon down! Put it down!
Oh, that's him.
Stop where you are! Lay down on the
Service 40,
ground!
the plate on this vehicle is going to be Paul Young, X-ray 4326.
Behind you, Sarge.
Put the gun down! Let me see your hands in the air now! I will shoot! Put the gun down! Put it down! Stop where you are! Get down on the ground!
60 John, what do you want those units on the perimeter?
Put the gun, get down on the ground! Stop where you are!
No, your boys!
Turn around! Put your hands on the car!
No, your boys! Boom, 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 boom!
Put your hands on the car! Stop!
Someone on scene above.
12 John. Shot fired.
Go on, we can EMS shots fired.
That's clear.
Tango, where you at?
One, slow him down, it's under control.
You good?
Yeah, he's shooting.
Is that shots?
Yeah, shots at us. I hit him in the front.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Who's shooting at
I'm
you?
dead serious, bro. 49-319. Show me those shots fired. He's getting shooting at us. We're on Quarter Street. You good, bro?
They were shooting at
Oh,
you?
yeah, he's shooting at me, bro.
That's him right there? Yeah.
You know when I'm driving with him.
We're getting shots fired at us.
You see him?
From
12 John, let's get a perimeter over here. He's over by Quarter and Spring Hill. He's firing at us.
Multiple rounds.
Yeah, that's him right there. That's him right there, Sark.
That's him right there.
Put the gun down! Put the weapon down!
You got an eye on him?
Yeah.
That was him.
Put the weapon down! Put it down! Stop Stop where you are! Lay down on the ground!
I'm behind you, Sarge.
Put the gun down! Let me see your hands in the air now! I will shoot! Put the gun down! Put it down! Stop where you are! Get down on the ground! Put the gun, get down on the ground!
I said, lower your motherfucking
Stop where you are!
Lower your voice!
Turn around! Put your hands on the car!
Lower your voice! Boom, 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 boom!
Put your hands on the car! Stop! Put your hands up! Stop! Lay down on the ground!
How do you want to fucking do it?
Do not reach for it!
12 young. Shots fired.
14 DO1, we need EMS shots fired.
I got you.
Brandon, where you at?
Oh, down, it's under control.
That's clear. Units en route to quarters and slow it down. Code 3.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
They shot the shot. I don't know if he got hit.
Hey, there's more.
You shot the shot. I don't know who shot it.
You guys got the shot. You're still in control of it.
Is that him right there in the street? Huh? Put the gun down! Put the weapon down!
You got an eye on him?
Is that him standing in the street? Put the weapon down! Put it down! Stop where you are! Lay down on the ground! Huh? Put the gun down! Let me see your hands in the air now! I will shoot! Put the gun down! Put it down! Stop where you are! Get down on the ground!
Lower your motherfucking voice!
Put the gun, get down on the ground!
Lower your motherfucking
Stop where you are!
Lower your voice!
Turn around! Put your hands on the
Lower
car!
your voice! Boom, 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 boom!
Put your hands on the car! Stop! Put the hands up! Stop! Lay down on the ground!
How do you want to fucking do it?
Do not reach for the...
12 young. Shots fired.
14 DO1, we need EMS shots fired.
I got you.
Brandon, where you at?
Damn it. Oh, slow him down. It's under control.
That's clear. Units en route to quarters and slow it down. Code 3.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Hey, there's more.
Oh, 6 John.
All right. So we'll go back into it. Now, we don't get to clearly see how far away the suspect is when we hear the gunshots. He could have been a considerable distance away, and it may have been the better option for this officer to hit it in reverse and start to retreat out of there. Or, depending on where the guy was at, it could have been in his best interest to just smash the accelerator and run him over. That is always a viable option when it comes to vehicle tactics. If the threat is directly in front of you and the distance is right, by all means, hit that accelerator and run them over. V6, V8 will outperform 9mm 45 all day. Has hellacious knockdown power. Especially in the SUV that he's in, it would cause a significant amount of damage if he were to hit that guy and run him over, and that would stop the threat. He hits it in reverse, and he goes until he hits another police car.
Oh, fuck.
Now, at this point, I don't know where the rifles are kept at in these cars, if he even has a rifle. If he has a rifle and it's in the cab, he 100% should have grabbed that rifle and got it out into play. It's now a gunfight, and rifles end gunfights pretty quick. So if he had the rifle in the cab, he should have immediately got it out before fully dismounting the vehicle. He was able to drive in reverse a considerable amount of distance. It's not like the guy's going to be right on top of him. If his rifle was in the cargo hold of the SUV, obviously by getting out of the vehicle after smashing into the other vehicle, he's not going to be able to very easily open that cargo door, but he could very simply just throw it back in the drive, roll forward a few feet, park, and then be able to get out and maybe access the cargo hold. There's, of course, the possibility that the cargo door in the back could have been damaged enough to where it couldn't open, and that's a real possibility, at which point he would just have to rely on his pistol. The other officer, if his rifle was in the cargo hold of the SUV, then he had no reason for not getting it out. But like I said, I don't know if they had rifles in their cars, and if so, where they were at. But if they had them, they should have got them out and put them into play.
You
good?
Yeah, he's shooting.
Is that shots?
Yeah, shots out of it. I got hit in the front.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're shooting at
I'm
you?
dead.
So he's not moving with a whole lot of pep in his step after being shot at multiple times. He's kind of a little too nonchalant, in my opinion. He kind of lazily gets out of the car and makes it to the back of this other one over here, and they take cover in behind this vehicle. Now, where they're at, it's not really the greatest.
Serious,
There's
bro.
not anything off to the side where they could go take cover behind.
49 nuts.
Nothing over here. No good concrete culvert or anything like that.
Show me those shots
hide
fired. He's getting
behind,
shooted.
No big trees. Nothing like that. It's just more vehicles and residential buildings. One thing that I can tell about the landscape here is they're under these street lights. So that's going to make them a little bit more well lit to the adversary. And where they're at to the rear of this vehicle, the taillights are on. And so when they start to lean out behind this vehicle, they're going to have a bright red light in their face when they're looking out to the side. And this big bright red light is going to be illuminating them some. So it could be to better interest instead of staying out here on the street light where, or the street where the lights are at, and they're going to be well illuminated. It could be to the person's better interest to run off to the side and take cover behind a vehicle in a driveway where maybe there's less street light. Now, over here would be a bad example because there is a street light pretty much really close to there.
Yes. We're on Quarter Street. You good, bro? I'm sorry, bro.
He was shooting at you?
Oh, yeah, he's shooting at me, bro.
This bro thing, I don't I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's just a difference in generations or something. I don't know, but I don't really think highly of people when all they can do is repeatedly say bro after every sentence. I almost see it one and the same as like ditzy girls, right? Like, so yeah, like, yeah, like, that's how I see it as. And it doesn't really convey a whole lot of confidence in me when I hear grown men saying bro a whole lot. Again, that may be a generational thing. Maybe I'm getting a little too old and, becoming that old guy, who talks down on the younger generations. I don't know. But I just don't like the whole bro shit.
He's shooting dead at me, bro.
Yes, sir.
That's him right there.
Oh, shit.
Now that was close. Let's hear it again.
Yes, sir.
That's him right there.
Oh, shit.
So a round went really close to them. You can hear that snap. They're kind of in a shitty spot right here, and it really sucks that they don't have a rifle out. If they had a rifle out, I think that they could have very easily leaned out far enough, clear cover, and get a sight on this guy and drop him before he got any closer while he's still shooting at them. But they don't do that. They just kind of hunker behind the cars and stay there. That's not the best choice, in my opinion. Just standing there and waiting for him to come. I think they could have been a little bit more proactive, so to speak, with this dude shooting at them and coming towards them.
Where do you want to ride with them?
We're getting shots fired at us. Fuck.
See him?
Nah.
Hold John, let's get
Let's get a perimeter over here.
He's over by quarter.
He's over by quarter in Spring Hill. He's firing at us.
Multiple rounds.
Sorry.
That's him right there.
It's en route.
He's-
That's him right there. That's him right there, Sarge.
That's him right there.
That's him right there, Sarge. So this this almost, in a way, loosely reminds me of a scene off of Black Hawk Down where and I forgot the character's name. He's the one who was kind of making fun of the he wasn't a general, I think he was a captain. He was making fun of that captain about the 5-yard line and all that. Twombly, no, not Twombly. Anyway, whatever his name was, while they're down there at the site, and they're waiting in the convoy to go in and pick up all the Ranger or the Delta team and everything. They're getting shot at, and in the movie or that scene, he looks at the sergeant and he goes, "Sergeant, they're shooting at us." And the sergeant has to reply, "Well, shoot back." Obviously, those same things aren't said here, but just what's going on kind of makes me think of that scene, because you got these two officers here who really aren't doing anything about the fact that they're being fucking shot at. Someone is trying to kill them, and they're not doing anything about it. But when Sergeant gets here, there he is, Sarge, there he is over there. And the sergeant is the only one who goes and does any damn thing about it. Sergeant immediately goes up with the rifle. And let's just say that on the rifle part, I like that. He gets out of his vehicle with a rifle. That's how it needs to be done when going to a call involving guns. You get your damn rifle out and put that rifle into play. Rifles end gunfights a lot faster than pistols do. But Sergeant gets out with his rifle and immediately goes up to the front to start doing work.
Put the gun down! Put the weapon down!
And then these two continue to hide in the back. It's almost like, Sarge is Mama Bear, and these are the two little cubs, and they just don't really know what to do. They're just kind of hanging back while Mama Bear goes out and does Mama Bear shit.
You got an eye on him?
Yep.
That was him.
Put the weapon down!
Oh, that's him.
Stop where you are! Lay down on the
Here before you, the
ground!
plate on this vehicle is going to be Paul Young.
Gun down! Stop where you are! Get down on the ground!
And so far, all we have right now is Sergeant providing lethal cover with the rifle. And that's it. Neither of these two are in a position to provide any kind of cover whatsoever.
Stop! Boom, boom! With your...
No, young boy!
So that whole time, we do not see his weapon up and pointing at this guy at all. When he should have had his gun up and pointed at this guy. The only time we see his gun come up is when he decides to fire that one round once the sergeant has made the decision to start shooting. That's wrong. He should have had his gun up and pointed at this guy.
I'm dead serious, bro.
You'll also notice
They were shooting at you?
Yeah, he's shooting at me, bro.
when he did make that shot, the other guy, you could tell that he had a red dot sight on his pistol. And this officer here also has a red dot sight on his pistol. Red dot sights are an emerging trend within law enforcement. You're starting to see more officers across the nation start to utilize them. There are actually some agencies that are starting to roll them out as issued items. Like they give the gun and the sight to new officers. And when you look at time and go back like 5 years ago, of course we don't see red dot sights to the level that we do now. Several years back when you would find a red dot pistol or something at a gun shop, it was kind of a unique item. Now they're very common, and I would say that several years more down the road, that's going to be almost the only damn thing that's offered in a gun shop is a gun with a red dot sight on top of it. It's just the progression that I can see that we're headed towards. So agencies, I think it was last year, LAPD made an announcement that they ordered, I forget how many brand new pistols, but they ordered so many brand new pistols from, I want to say, Fabrique Nationale. And they were handguns that came equipped with red dot sights. That's pretty cool. So agencies are kind of slowly adopting red dot sights. They're starting to embrace it a little bit more. Some agencies will allow individual officers to use their own guns or put their own red dot sights on there, but they just won't provide it to them. Now you're starting to see some agencies start to provide that towards their officers, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. It's nice to see the emergence of better technology and gear, I guess you could say. Of course, I'm still an iron person. I have not made the transition over to red dot. I'm not opposed to red dot. I do see the pros of red dot. I would like to be able to make that full transition over the red dot, but I know that in order to do so, it's going to be a learning curve, because I'm going to have to completely relearn something new, and not just relearn that something new, but also practice enough with it to make it more second nature for me, because I grew up on iron sights. New people coming in who don't have any professional training with firearms. If you're brand new into it, by all means, I'd recommend starting off on iron sights. I'm sorry, not iron sights. Take that back. Red dot sights. I think it's a whole lot easier to train people on the red dots, and then add in the ability to use irons as a backup option. But I certainly think that it's a whole lot easier to take brand new people, train them on red dots, and then let them go forth and conquer, and then just allow the iron sight guys to remain iron sight, and then if they want to make that transition, be able to let them make that transition. But you're going to have to provide the time and ammo in order for them to make a successful transition, because they're going to have to relearn something completely new. But anyway, yeah, red dot sights, starting to see a noticeable change in the landscape out there with law enforcement. More and more agencies and officers are starting to use these. So, yeah. Now, we can't see in the body camera footage where the guy is at. He's somewhere down there. I just don't know where he's at. And the way they talk back and forth at each other, I'm not even sure if they know exactly where he's at.
That's him right there? Yeah.
He saw him, and then he got shot at.
That's him right there? Yeah.
So where exactly he was at, I don't know.
We're getting shots fired at us.
Now, he just got shot at. He saw the guy. So if he can see him, he can shoot at him. Personally, I think he should have returned fire at this guy.
You got an eye on him?
Where you are? Lay down on the ground!
I'm behind you, Sarge.
Put the gun down! Let me see your hands in the air now! On the ground! Turn around! Put your hands...
So at this point, he does not have his gun trained on this guy. He 100% needs to have his gun pointed at this threat. This threat just shot at him. He still has a gun right there on his side. There is no low ready at this point. This is put your fucking red dot sight square on his chest. His shirt even offers a nice target. Put your red dot in that little white spot area, and if when he makes that move, start ventilating him.
On the car. Know your voice. Boom, 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 boom. Put your hand.
And so I see this as a failure point right here. Like, he's not pointing his gun at the threat. That's wrong.
Hands on the car. Stop. Put your hands up. Stop. Lay down on the ground.
How do you want to fucking do it?
Do not reach for it.
12 John, shots fired.
Okay.
Oh. So he takes the gun from the bad guy. And then horrible muzzle discipline. He should have pointed this thing over in the grass over here to unload it instead of pointing it in this direction where officers are or where this person's house is. That's not a safe direction for a gun. Yes, he's just unloading it, but he needs to be having this gun pointed in a safe direction when he's unloading it. Firearms rules apply to all guns no matter what's going on. I should have pointed it down at the grass when doing this.
Street? Huh? Is that him right there in the street? Huh?
So Sergeant gets out with a rifle. Now, again, I don't know if the rifle was kept in the cab or if it was in the cargo hold and he stopped before he got there and got the rifle out. I suspect that it was probably in the cab since he's charging it right there. The cab can be a good place to keep the rifle because it's right there with you. Whether it's in a gun lock in between the two seats, or it's up on the ceiling, or it's in a gun lock that's off to the side of the console at the passenger area, whatever. It being in the cab of the vehicle can be more easily accessible to you. So when going to a call involving guns, it would be easier for you to be able to unlock it from its locking mechanism and get it charged and ready for when you dismount the vehicle. If you have to keep your vehicle in the trunk or keep it in the cargo hold of your SUV, then when going to a gun call, I think the best option is to, while you're en route, pull off to the side, get out, grab the gun, get back in the car with it, have it charged, and you can, if it's got a sling on there, it's got to have a sling. If it's not, then you can wedge it in between you. But if it's got a sling, go ahead and throw it on like a 1-point sling and have it kind of dangling there between your legs. And then that way when you get there, boom, you're able to very quickly dismount the vehicle and have this rifle ready to go. If not, you can wedge it in between you and the console, and still, same thing, once you stop, get out, you've got it right there with you. But I like how he gets there and gets his rifle out. You should always get a rifle out when going to a gun call. And it's not necessarily shots have to be fired that require the rifle to get out, just the presence of a gun itself. If there's a report of a gun being involved, even a knife being involved, I would argue that a long gun needs to come out. If you know that there is a very high chance of having to use deadly physical force, then you need to get a long gun. Rifle needs to come out, no questions asked. So he gets this rifle, he goes straight to work. He bypasses the two officers hiding behind their cars.
Put the gun down!
And starts to challenge the suspect who shot at them.
Put the weapon down!
Street?
On the ground! I will shoot! Put the gun down! Put it down! Stop where you are! Get down on the ground!
Lower your motherfucking voice.
Put the gun, get down.
Now, I'm not a big fan of that. He is giving good, loud, verbal commands to this dude, and then this dude tells him to lower his fucking voice. And what's he do? He kind of lowers his voice. That's wrong. That is not the tone that needs to be taken with someone who's just been shooting at your people. He does not get to dictate what the hell goes on right now. By allowing him to control you like that, you're now making him more mentally stronger. And he was already mentally strong enough to shoot at him. Now that he's gotten closer, something's changed. Why did he stop shooting at them? Why did he holster his gun? Something happened between him being down there and shooting and him getting up here. Now he's trying to dictate the scene and what's going on. No, it don't happen. The sergeant should have just kept his loud verbal commands the way they are. Loud. Don't cater to assholes like this. Don't give them an inch. Don't let them be in charge in any way whatsoever.
On the ground. Stop where you are. Turn around. Put your hands on the car.
Your voice.
Put your hands on the car. Stop. Put the hands up. Stop. Lay down on the ground.
How do you want to fucking do it?
Do not reach for the...
12 John. Shots fired.
So he got the gun out of the holster. It's right there on the ground.
(14D01), we need EMS shots fired.
No idea if he actually got a round off or not, but he got that gun out of the holster before he went down. And they're lucky he didn't get a lucky shot off and hit one of them, because it was a very real possibility. The moment that he got to the front of this vehicle the way he did and was still armed, even though the gun was in his holster, at that point, I even think that deadly physical force would have been justifiable. He has shot at them. He is continuing to advance on them and come closer to them. That's the line in the sand, in my opinion. I think that deadly force would have been justified way earlier than this. But it got to this point where they gave him the opportunity to get his gun out again and try to make a hell, it almost seems like he's trying to recreate a Western standoff, a duel. And he could have very easily, like I said, he could have very easily got one lucky round off and hit one of them in the face, and then it would have been done for them. Houston police would be burying another officer. The threat was imminent. He's already used deadly physical force against them. He's not listening to any commands whatsoever. And then him coming towards them, I think they would be able to articulate well enough that they were in fear of their life, and they felt like they were in imminent danger and could have used deadly physical force way before it got to this point.
(01), slow him down. It's under control.
So they get up there and they kind of assess them, and then we don't really see a whole lot going after that. Now, obviously, they at some point put cuffs on him, I'd imagine. We don't get to see that, but I think it's kind of inevitable that they would roll him over and put cuffs on him and then start some type of first aid on him. But we don't get to see that. But they do make the approach, and they're assessing, and they're I wouldn't say they're scanning because they're not looking around, but they're more of assessing what their hits did, and they're probably thinking in their heads, how they're going to approach this further. But no one's talking to each other. I think there could have been some more communication going on there. But then again, the video ends pretty quick, and the communication probably started right after the video ends. But we don't get to see that because they don't show the whole footage. Medical gear. So I talk about medical gear a lot because I believe that medical gear is very important, and the knowledge on how to use it is very important. So let's play some hypothetical stuff here, and let's say that this bad guy shot one of those officers. Now they were near their cars, and let's just play another hypothetical situation. Let's say that they were a little bit further away from their cars, and one of them got shot. How are they going to provide self-aid? How will the officer who got shot provide aid to himself, or how will the other officer provide aid to the other wounded officer if they don't have medical gear on them? It is very important that you carry medical gear on you. That's what I call first line medical gear, and then the extra medical gear you can keep in your car as second line medical gear or supplemental medical gear. And the gear that you keep in the car is meant to supplement the stuff that's on you that you've used on yourself or used on someone else, or it can be a standalone item that can be used on anyone else other than your team or your family. And in a scenario like this, I would not use first line medical gear on this guy. First line medical gear needs to solely be reserved for you and your team. What if this was not the only shooter? What if he had another buddy, and this officer started to put his first line medical gear on this guy and start treating him, and then his buddy comes out and shoots at one of the officers and hits one of the officers, but that was the only medical equipment that he had? What's he going to do? Take the tourniquet off the bad guy and then put it on the officer? It's not likely. And then what happens if he uses all of his gauze on the bad guy? You can't really pull that blood-soaked gauze out of the bad guy and go put it on your partner. That's just not going to work. So first line medical gear is 100% for you and your team. The only time I would ever say that it gets to be used on anyone else is if you are 100% sure that there is no possibility of any more fighting to be had. And this is not one of those situations because, like I said, he could have a buddy come out and start shooting. So only for you. The stuff that's in the car can be used on other people. And if it takes a minute to be able to start using that other gear on other people, then oh well, so be it. These people, this guy, he brought this shit upon himself, so he can wait the extra time that it would take for you to go grab medical gear out of the car and start using it on him. But you got to have the medical gear on you to make it worthwhile. Aside from having it on you, you got to have the knowledge to be able to use the medical gear as well. Just the same as you can't just go get a gun and have never trained or practiced with the gun and then start carrying it and think that you're going to be okay. You're not going to be okay. You need to go train and practice with the brand new gun that you just bought. Same concept with medical stuff. You need to be able to train with some of the gear that you've got and know how to use it. If you're going to carry the tools to induce trauma, you need to carry the tools to reduce trauma. If you are an armed professional or armed citizen, then obviously you should be able to recognize the fact that that means you could be involved in a gunfight. And a gunfight means bullets go both directions. And if you get shot, you need to be able to treat yourself. Or if your family gets shot, your partner gets shot, you need to be able to treat them. You cannot rely on an ambulance because you have no idea how long it's going to take for that ambulance to get there. It could be 7 minutes before that ambulance gets there, and you can bleed out in 90 seconds. So if you're going to carry a gun, you need to carry medical stuff and have the knowledge on how to use that medical stuff as well. Not much else to say about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. And again, another shout out to Bodycam Watchdog on YouTube for having the full footage from Houston Police. What I'm assuming is the full footage. I don't see an end segment on this or anything like that. So again, this video could be cut a little bit short from its original reel, but don't know that because obviously have not been able to find anything with the original reel. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.